All right, guys, so the NFL trade deadline is officially over. We're going to break down everything the Baltimore Ravens did, the players they gained, the players they lost. We're going to talk about what Pat McAfee and others had to say about the Baltimore Ravens trade for Dre'mont Jones, and we're going to grade that trade. We're also going to talk about a big-time upcoming matchup in Minnesota against the Minnesota Vikings. Derrick Henry joins the Kay Adams show and talks about Lamar Jackson's leadership. We also have some other roster transactions, some notable free agents still available, and John Harbaugh talking about some of the young players and much more Baltimore Ravens news. So welcome in to another episode of Ravens Reports. It's your guy Noah here with For the Flock. As always, bringing you guys our top 5 news reports and storylines coming out of our Baltimore Ravens today. At number 1, let's break down the Dre'mont Jones trade that actually broke live while me and Ryan from Flock Rundown were live on our live stream that we go every Monday night. And I'm really excited about this trade. 28-year-old player. He has 4.5 sacks in the last 4 games. He is now instantly leading the entire Baltimore Ravens team in pressures. He has more pressures than our other leading pressure producer in Travis Jones. He has the most sacks. He is a young and ascending player, productive every single year since 2019. He's a big physical 6'3", 280-pound. He's versatile. He can rush at 5 tech. He's good at stunts. He's physical. The good news is, as well as Mike Green is continuing to get better, Kyle Van Noy, where he can kind of move around in chess pieces. I was surprised the Baltimore Ravens did not pull a trade at defensive tackle. However, when you look around the league at the cost of the premier defensive players, every single one of them was going for at least one first-round pick, if not multiple first-round picks. The price was very high. We're going to talk about if the Ravens can really contend with the roster they have right now, and we'll kind of look at the pros and cons, the players they gained, the players they lost. But in and of itself, I do love the Dre'mont Jones trade from the Tennessee Titans. Baltimore Ravens only had to give up a conditional 5th-round pick. However, that pick turns into a 4th-round pick if the Ravens make the playoffs and if Dre'mont Jones logs at least 2 sacks, which is very likely, as he's probably going to be the Ravens sack leader throughout the back half of the season. So just kind of looking at the players gained, the players lost. Players we've lost via trade: Jair Alexander, who was being a healthy scratch, wasn't getting a lot of playing time. Odafe Oweh, who's having success with the Chargers now, but wasn't having any success with the Ravens with 0 sacks. Since then, we've gained Alohi Gilman, who's really helped to bolster the safety position and help Malachi Starks out, as well as free up Kyle Hamilton to be the absolute weapon that he is all over the place. We've also added Carl Lawson, who had 5 sacks for the Cowboys last year, said he's feeling good and even better than he was last year. And then we also added edge rusher Dre'mont Jones. So you're hoping that Carl Lawson can give you something. Dre'mont continues playing well. Mike Green continues to ascend. Van Noy plays good football. And suddenly the pass rush could be majorly improving. Also, at number 2, let's talk about the lack of other moves, right? A lot of us were expecting another move at defensive tackle on the interior of that defensive line, or maybe an offensive lineman trade. However, looking around the league, the Baltimore Ravens' top competitors didn't make any moves either. That's at least the good news, right? Kansas City did not get any better. Buffalo didn't get any better. And since the Ravens played the Buffalo Bills, where they barely lost that game, should not have lost that game. We know how it ended. They've lost their defensive tackle, Ed Oliver. So, also some good news, if you want to look at it in a positive, optimistic light, is the Baltimore Ravens should be getting back Adisa Isaac at some point this year, 3rd-round pick who had a nice training camp. Tavius Robinson should be back towards the end of the season as well, who has 2 sacks for the Ravens. And then hopefully Broderick Washington will be back. John Harbaugh said yesterday that he had an Achilles surgery, but it wasn't a complete tear. It was just like a procedure, a repair. He didn't have a timeline on that injury, though. Some other good news and optimism would be that Mike Green has, got his first sack a few weeks ago, continues to be improving. CJ Okoye's been getting better as well. The only defensive tackle that was traded, trust me, I wanted a defensive tackle. I wanted Quinnen Williams. I wanted Zach Seiler or, Dexter Lawrence, right? But the only big name defensive tackle that was traded was Quinnen Williams, and it took the Cowboys trading a first-round pick and a second-round pick, and that's just too much draft capital that I don't think Eric DeCosta and the Ravens were willing to part ways with. So I think they were probably in the mix and had conversations, but I think they ultimately got outbid by the Cowboys. At number 3, Derrick Henry addresses Lamar Jackson and his leadership on the Kay Adams show. Go ahead and take a listen.
Lamar was back, looked awesome in his return, but when he wasn't playing, I heard he was a bit of like a toughie. Can you tell me a little bit about that? I know he took away the ping pong table. I heard he was like no distractions. He was being the leader that he is. What was him being toughy like?
We all backed him on it. We all thought that's what we needed. We need to focus. We're here to do a job. We're here to play video games, play ping pong. That can be later. We need to focus on what we need to do. So we all backed him on it. So get them all out of here. And let's focus on what we need to focus on and get this thing rolling where we know it's supposed to be. And so I felt like it was good for us. I know everybody made a big deal out of it, but we was like, whatever, let's go.
Was it anything? I think it's a big deal because it shows his leadership. I think it paints him in a great light, still affecting the team when he's not able to be out there. Then he comes back, and we know the effect when he's back there on the field. Was it any departure or like a level up from where he usually is? Was there anything different about how he attacked being a leader in those weeks he wasn't out there?
No, because when we came in for camp, he came with that energy. So, it wasn't no shock to us because first day we reported, he talked to the team and, he was that mindset was already set, and then it wasn't going the way we planned it to go. Which things like that happen, but that mindset never changed. Get the games out, get everything out. We need to focus.
At number 4, the Baltimore Ravens plan to release safety Sanusi Kane. We know he was a 7th-round pick in 2024. He's been a core special teamer the last 2 years for the Baltimore Ravens. But he was a healthy scratch to the last 2 games with practice squad safety Keandre Jackson's emergence on special teams. So the Baltimore Ravens are making room for Keandre Jackson, releasing Sanusi Kane. And there's a roster transaction at number 5. Another guy, rookie, who's continuing to get better alongside Mike Green and Malachi Starks, who you're hoping continue to emerge and really bolster this defense. By the way, if we're talking about like hope for the Ravens defense, I know I wanted more depth at defensive tackle, trust me. However, John Jenkins has played good football. CJ Okoye has emerged. Broderick Washington should be coming back at some point. Aeneas Peeble has shown us flashes as a pass rusher. And then Travis Jones is playing really good football as well. You just got to hope everyone stays healthy because if you start to have injuries there, that's where it starts to get scary, man. But the other reality is the Baltimore Ravens held the Rams to 17 points, held the Bears to, 10 points, and then the Dolphins to just a few as well. So the Ravens defense has been on a major uprise since moving Kyle Hamilton in the box. So that was before the Dre'mont Jones trade, and then you also just traded for a starting caliber edge rusher. That definitely improves your defense. I would have, if the Ravens were really going all out for a Super Bowl this year, I would have liked to see them add a defensive tackle. Not that they couldn't contend, because like I said, the defense was good before this trade, but you're just worried about depth, man. So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. But at number 5, like we were talking about, one of the guys that has been emerging alongside Malachi Starks and Mike Green has been the 4th-round linebacker Teddye Buchanan. Teddye Buchanan had filled in for Roquan Smith, wearing the green dot as a rookie. That's a big deal. That's a lot of trust the Ravens had in him. And he continues to get better. Was in on both of those tackles where the fumbles were forced against the Dolphins. And he is really, I was a big fan of him coming out of the draft, and we had talked about him a lot. And he continues to get better. Here's what John Harbaugh had to say about him.
Teddye, should have mentioned Teddye in the group with those guys there. He's another guy that continues to improve. He had the 3 weeks there when Rowe was hurt, and he was playing every snap and he was playing special teams. So he's actually, had a little bit of a break in the last couple games since Rowe got back. But and even with that, I think he made a lot of progress. He had the green dot for a couple games, which is a lot of pressure. You're probably happy to have that off right now. But I just keep, again, he's another guy that learns. He doesn't make mistakes twice. and he continues to get better for that reason.
All right, guys, so smash the like button if you got any value out of today's content. And as always, we love you guys. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next video.
Ray, when he wasn't looking, he ran me over.